What is going on, everybody? You guys already know who it is on it to explain it. It's your boy Rax. What's going on, everybody? Um, Welcome to the first ever Second Chance podcast where I talk about everything going on in my life and friends' lives, where I help people out, you know, all that kind of stuff. I help friends out. You guys know what it is. You guys know what I do, but I don't kind of say it. But today I'm actually joined by somebody very special who actually is a former victim slash girlfriend ish, I guess you could say,
Yes,
of
ish.
the massive, and I mean massively in both senses of the word, but more or less on the side of, more massively hated troll Music Biz Marty. Today I'm joined by Jamie, who actually is. And would you be his ex girlfriend, ex fiance? What would you be to him?
Definitely not ex-fiance. Definitely not ex-girlfriend.
Hmm.
I'd say I'm just an ex. I'm
Okay.
just an ex.
Okay. But if you guys don't know, Jamie actually ended up reaching out to me not too long ago, and I just saw the message today. So my apologies for getting to the message super late. I do apologize for that. My freaking Facebook message requests get filled up almost daily, so like I do apologize for not seeing it right away. That was my bad.
You're good.
But but yeah, why don't you just run us through everything, like in your own words about how you came across this guy, and then if there's anything that you feel we need to run back, we can. But why don't you start off by explaining who you are and like how you kind of came across Music Biz Marty to begin with.
Well, okay, sure. Great questions. So I came across Music with Marty because I thought he was kind of funny in the chat, but then I found out, like after a while, he was not funny, and he was just like going for you like hardcore, and I'm not about that life, you know. It was it was pretty fucked up. So,
Yeah. So how did you end up coming across him anyways? Like I know that we talked earlier a little bit briefly about how he showed up, but what was it that how did you guys end up talking and how did you end up finding out about him to begin with?
well, I had no idea. Like, I really just I saw like his channel. I guess it got like recommended to me, but I thought he was pretty funny. He was pretty charismatic. I don't know how I got like what algorithm got me uh recommended on his channel, but I thought he was funny, so that's how I got there.
Huh.
Huh.
I know that the YouTube algorithm they recommend some of the weirdest stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten some real weird stuff from the YouTube algorithm. But on the back end, I've also gotten some really cool stuff too, so I can't really complain too much.
Like what? What'd you get?
Just different stuff like car related stuff, gaming related stuff, just all kinds of really neat
Mm,
stuff.
mm, mm.
But why don't you explain to everybody? Like, I know you said that you went there to visit. Like, what happened when you were there? Like, what all went down when you went to visit him?
I mean, should I say like all that? Like what happened?
Hey, whatever you feel like you want to share.
Well, I don't know if I should say like everything. I shared that with you, but I'm not sure if I
Yeah.
should share that.
Yeah, and that's like I said, whatever you're comfortable with sharing, by all means, go ahead. And if you feel like there's certain things that you want to kind of skirt around, like however you want to do it.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if I want to say what I said to you. That was kind of private.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, but if you want to say it, like I didn't say it, so
yeah, like I know that you said that he was doing certain things behind closed doors that was not cool while you were asleep, to say the least. Like, how did you find out that he was doing that stuff?
Oh, I went through his phone, so
Ah, a little sneaky, huh?
yeah, I mean, who doesn't?
Right?
So yeah, that happened. You can't blame me though, you know.
No, like the guy's definitely on some other shit for sure.
The guy is a weirdo,
You're
straight up.
not you're not wrong. Like just from what you've seen of him and from what you've studied, what's your whole takeaway, from that situation? And like if you had any advice for anybody out there that comes across them, like what would your words to them be?
My advice would be don't ever fuck with Music Biz Marty because he ain't shit.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not
And
wrong.
that's all. That's all. That's all I have to say. Fucking
But like whenever you were there and you were finding out all this stuff was going on and you started to like really see like what he was really about, like what was running through your mind at the time whenever you were finding all this stuff out?
I was like, why the fuck am I here? You know? I was like, why am I even here? Like, I need to book my next flight out. Like, this is crazy. This is insane.
Right. Because I also remember you talking about how he was actually, you had said something about like the FBI just leaving there or something like that. Like,
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. So I mean, they, they investigated with Foodie Beauty, but not with you. So that was
yeah,
kind of fucked. That was majorly fucked up.
yeah. But like, if there's one thing that you could change, like if you could go back and change one thing that you did or didn't do, what would that one thing be?
I'd change back like not going and not gaining 20 pounds.
Huh?
That's what I'd.
Let's be
I would.
honest. There's a lot of people that say
I'd change back and not eat like Chicago pizza, whatever that fucking deep dish shit is. That's what I do.
right.
Yeah, yeah. It's
But
the truth.
like, right.
That's right.
But like, as far as like, as far as like being victimized by him like you were and stuff like that, like what's the one thing that either positive or negative? Like what's the one thing that you can take away from that situation that you can say has made you better?
Mm. Well, I'd say like I would not eat deep dish pizza. Fuck Chicago.
The only thing, yeah, hey, the only good thing I can say that's ever come out of Chicago is the band Disturbed, and that's really about it.
I would. I'd second that. Everything. Their food is bullshit. They ain't got. Their food is disgusting. It's awful. I didn't eat anything good there. I hated it. It's
Jesus,
gross.
it was that bad, huh?
It's so bad. It's so bad. I promise. I promise. Swear to God.
Dang, Jesus. But if there's one thing that you can say that you can take away on
Mm,
a positive note, from
mm,
that
mm,
situation, what would that one thing be?
I can't think of one. Uh, hang on. A positive note. Yep. I got nada.
That sounds about right. But like for real though, like
No, for real. For real. I ain't got shit. I ain't got shit.
hey, I can't say there's anything positive to come out of that asshole. Anyways, that dude's literally a living piece of human trash.
Well, I'm not gonna disagree. He's something.
He definitely is. Like if you were like say that you were a shrink. Like,
Hmm.
and you had to like examine this freaking weirdo, and you had to examine his head, his brain, how he works. what's the
Mm-hmm.
one thing that you would say that, like, what's the one thing that you would more than likely diagnose this guy with?
I'd say he has ASPD.
And
Definitely.
for those that don't know out there, what exactly is ASPD?
Um,
For those that don't know.
well, for you and those that don't know, it's antisocial personality disorder,
Mm.
but also a bit of NPD. We all know what that is, right?
Uh-huh. Dude's a freaking weirdo. Dude's got so many screws loose he could probably run a hardware store.
Exactly.
I swear to God. But like definitely those things. And one thing that both me and you definitely agreed on when we talked about it earlier was
Mm,
he definitely has, some sort of sociopathic stuff going through his head. He's either a psychopath or a sociopath, and both me and you had even agreed like he
we
lean,
did, we did.
he leans more, just from my point of view, I'd say he leans more towards the psychopathic side of things.
I'd agree with that for sure, for
Like,
sure.
just judging by how he's treated you, how he's done me, how he's done so many other people. Like, the dude's definitely off his rocker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the dude definitely has some major things wrong with him. Like, I know that, when we spoke earlier more in detail about what he did to you, I remember that, you brought up the fact that, like, I won't say what kind, but I will say that, me and you talked about how he took, certain photos of you while you were asleep and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's so fucked.
And that right there, I know that had to be creepy.
I mean, that's extremely creepy. Like, who the fuck does that? Who does that? It's, Marty does the weirdest shit, and he's done it for years. Like, how many years? Like, 8 years, right?
For on my end of stuff, it will be 8 years
Okay,
at the start
see,
of next
see
year.
what I mean?
Yeah,
He does weird ass shit like all the fucking time. He's a creep, and I'm here to expose him and tell like the truth. So yeah, he
yeah.
does crazy ass shit.
Now, if there's anything that you could say to him right now, like if he's listening, which I doubt he is, but if he is listening right now, what's the one thing that you would want to say to him right now if you had the chance to?
I'd say fuck you and quit taking pictures of me while I sleep. You're like that's fucking weird. Fuck off.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, if you had the chance to talk with any of his family members, like his mom, his dad,
Oh,
any of that,
man.
what would you say to them if they didn't know what's going on? Like, what would your
Well,
exact words to them be?
well, no, I don't have any disrespect for his family members. I would never say anything bad. That's not, no. I'm good. I would never disrespect his family.
Right, and that's understandable, but also at the same time, I really do feel like his family. I think his family might know what's going on, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Mm,
And if they do know, they're definitely not doing anything. That's for sure.
that is for sure.
Like
That's true.
I'm not disrespecting his family in any way. I'm just simply stating the facts as they are, which is if they know something's going on, they're not saying anything, or they're not doing anything, or they just, like I said, simply have no idea.
Yeah, me either. It's I'm oblivious. Yeah.
Right. And honestly, like I can genuinely say this that it's so weird to me at how he is.
Mm,
Like
I mean, yeah, he is. He's like he's an enigma. He's very
he's very out there.
yeah, that's a given.
Like, and I know that me and you, had spoken briefly, a little bit about some of the stuff he's done and
Yeah.
how, like, it's very weird. And I think both me and you, and I think anybody else watching this right now will agree that what he's doing It's just it's not normal. It's not a normal way of human behavior. It's not a normal way of thinking. It's definitely very strange and very weird.
I mean, it's just disgusting. It's just, like I
Yeah.
told you, after I like was like I lived in that for a minute, when I was immersed in it was a very different story. It's just not. It was funny like for a minute, but then when you live it, it's not funny. It was not funny.
Right.
It was awful.
Absolutely. And for anybody going through that, you know, I just want y'all to know that for anybody that is going through, through a similar situation, or if you're even going through the same situation through, by the same people that, I've been victimized by, that she's been victimized by,
Mm.
and I know that me and you both talked briefly about his ex, Saren. She's been victimized by him, and there's just so many people that have been victimized by this scumbag that it's not cool. But for those of y'all out there that may be going through that, just know that we're out here. For those of if you're looking for help, we are out here. Like we're here looking for y'all, man. Like where y'all at? Like we need to shut this guy and his friends down. Like this guy's definitely he's definitely not human, that's for sure.
I mean, yeah, he's kind of a piece of shit. He is. I'm sorry. Sorry I said it, but
Oh,
it's just,
hey, there's no filters on here. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
yeah, he's kind of a piece of shit.
He really is like, and that's why I've always like when he started doing the shit that he did to me after he did that. With everything that went down, like we spoke about earlier. I can honestly say that in my eyes, he's a creature.
Hmm.
He's not human. He doesn't deserve to be treated like a human. This dude is literally a human sack of shit that deserves to be treated like nothing more than the piece of shit creature that he is. The shit that he's done, it's not cool. It's affected so many lives. It's hurt so many people on many levels. Like obviously me and my family and my friends obviously being directly affected. I know that your life has definitely been affected by it. Like, as far as like the after effect of what he's done goes, like, what would you say the one thing is that he's done that still, lingers with you? Whether it's something that he said or something they did, like, what's the one thing that you can say that still remains with you from that situation to this day?
Well, let me ask you that same question back. What is it that he's done that affected you? Well,
Honestly, there's just where do you want to start? The list is like a mile long.
let's start at the beginning.
Oh God. Well, let's see. He did the whole making me look like a pedophile thing. He
Hmm.
broke into my mom's bank account, stole money from there twice already. He actually ended up stealing a wedding gift from my best friend Ethan by going to my best friend Ethan's house while he was at work and doing that. Like, there's just so much that he's done. That's like I said, the list for me is like a mile freaking long. Like, there's been so much that he's done that it's just like, and when you're in that, and I'm sure you've seen this for yourself and gone through it yourself, when you're in that and like you don't know how dangerous this guy can get, it's almost like you don't know what to do because, like you said, he draws you in, and
Very true.
look what happened.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm like Exhibit A. Actually, you're Exhibit A. I'm Exhibit B.
Right?
Both got fucked. Like this dude he does draw you in. He's very manipulative. He's very charming. I guess he has like that like whatever the psychopaths have. Like he has that Stooping to like, he's a psychopath for sure.
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
trust him.
like when you first came across, like when you first came across him, and like he was acting as one what that kind of mindset does. Like, what was it that he said or did that like drew you into him that made you want to interact with him?
Nothing actually. It was just a whole bunch of bullshit. He just said funny shit. I thought he was funny, and he wasn't funny. It was just very manipulative and very rude. Bullshit. He didn't really. He didn't. I don't know. He was very different. I'll say that Marty is different.
Yeah, he's definitely a special kind of crazy. I'll say that. Like
Yeah.
he's definitely one of those ones that I would say if anybody out there is looking to start doing YouTube or start your own channel, just a little piece of advice from two of his victims to you guys.
Yeah.
Avoid this guy at all costs. Do not interact with him. The guy will throw you under the bus the minute that he gets the chance to. He's done it with me more than once. Well, he's attempted to more than once, but every time he's freaking failed because I came back and kicked his ass for it. But I know that he's tried that with you. What was it that he said that had you like really weirded out? Like, what's the one thing that
Oh, oh,
stands out to you most that you feel like is like the warning sign that made you realize you need to get out?
well, I mean, there was plenty of warning signs. I mean, that was all there. But did you mean about him taking like pictures of me while I was asleep? That
Well,
was
well, yeah, that's definitely a red flag for sure. But I mean, like, what were some of the things that he said that were like major
oh
red
before that.
flags?
Well, everything he says is a red flag. I mean, if I'm being honest, like everything he says is a red flag. Marty is like the embodiment of just a red flag. He's like a
Hey,
walking red flag. So,
right, right. That's
so
fair.
you
That's
know,
fair.
you know what
That
I'm
is
saying?
that. That's honestly fair. That is valid. That is actually very freaking fair.
Yeah, well, it's true. Fuck him. Fuck that. I mean, he really is just a walking red flag in
Right.
every sense and physical sense. Yeah, that's what he does.
Right, and I know that earlier when we spoke, I know you said that there was like one thing in particular he said which definitely weirded you out, which was the whole what was it I don't do something like I get even or some shit like that.
Do what?
You said that he said something about like getting even or something.
Getting me what?
Getting even, payback,
Oh yeah, yeah,
essentially.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so he said, I don't. He told me that he doesn't. Hang on. What did he say? He said he doesn't. Uh, I forget. I forget. My bad.
Basically, what he was saying is basically he doesn't, do the apology thing. He gets payback type shit.
Yeah. What was the quote?
I don't know. It was like something about something, or it's like something or other. It's like, no, I don't do something, I get even, or some shit.
You should think of it.
I don't remember.
Just go to think. Think very.
My brain is literally running on,
Think
like, my
hard because I
brain is literally running on fucking fumes right now. I swear to God.
mine too, but I know the answer. But think super hard, super duper, a little bit. Think.
I don't, dude. I'm literally sitting here thinking, and I can't even think of it, man. Shit. But point
Well,
being, though, at the end of the day, point being, like the dude likes to get even. Like he doesn't do this whole nicey nice thing. He does the whole, oh, if you're gonna do this, then I'm gonna get payback. Like
mm-hmm.
that to me is a massive red flag in itself. Like if you got somebody like that, My best advice to anyone out there, and I'm sure you'd have the same advice to
Yeah.
anyone out there, that whenever you're in that situation and someone says that, our best advice to you, run. Like, get the hell up out of that situation because shit's about to get bad.
Yeah, I would admit the same advice. Just run, run, baby.
Like, get the hell up out of there because that situation is not going to end well for you. I can tell you that right now. And I'm not saying that in a threatening way. I'm just saying, like, as somebody that's been, been a victim of his, and, like you said, you've been a victim of his,
My victim.
like, get the hell up out of there because it will not end well. Something's bad's bound to happen.
Well, I would I think of myself as a victim, but I also think that Marty, he doesn't look at people as victims. He's just so like sociopathic or psychopathic that he doesn't look at people as like people.
Yeah.
He yeah he looks at like people as objects. He's very fucked. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And that's one thing that I did notice myself, when I was dealing with him. He saw myself and my friends and my family as, objects to make money off of. And
Mm.
that's no way to live. Like, that to me is like, if you're thinking like that on that level about people, and if you see people as just objects, dude, you seriously need your fucking head checked.
Yeah, but he'll never do it. Like, Marty never. He doesn't like self reflect. He doesn't have that capability. He doesn't really. He doesn't look at himself. He doesn't, like I said, self reflect. He's different. you know.
Right, like he doesn't see, the social cues of like, what's okay and what's not okay, like me and you or anybody else out there with a functioning brain, sees.
Absolutely. That's.
Like, the dude's definitely weird.
Oh yeah, he's hella weird. He's a fucking weirdo. Like a fucking weirdo times 1,000% weirdo.
You're not wrong. And you're talking to somebody that's dealt with this guy for 7 years. Holy shit. This guy seriously needs, like, if there was one thing that I can do right now, it would definitely be to get that dude into a mental hospital and seriously get him the help he needs because clearly he needs it.
Well, I think that's very like giving of you, and that's very nice of you. That's that's we should all want that from Marty, because fuck, he needs it. That dude needs it.
He really does. Like, don't get me wrong, I've, believe it or not, for all y'all that don't know, like, over the last few months of me recovering from, going through all those years of bullshit and me finally being away from it, thanks to my friends and family, I've been doing a lot better. I've been getting the help that I needed, through my friends and my family. I've been, checking in a lot more. I've been talking to, friends and family a lot more. I've actually been less antisocial like I used to be. I used to not be antisocial, and thankfully I'm not that again. Thank God. But to anybody out there, that is or was a victim of his and that's still suffering, maybe they're still out there, maybe they're not, we don't know. But if there is anybody out there right now that is like me and you and is a former victim of his, what's one thing that you would say to them right now if you could reach out to them and talk to them?
I guess I'd say fucking run. Like fucking run. Like don't give in to this charisma or his bullshit. Like this dude, he ain't shit. Like don't listen to him. Just run away, and run and be done. That's what I would say. Yeah.
That sounds fair. That definitely sounds fair because, like me and you spoke about earlier, there's so many, things that he's done that is beyond the human comprehension of being illegal, but yet he's allowed to get away with this shit. And I think that right there is what boggles my mind more than anything. Is this dude has done so much illegal stuff to, myself, to you, and to so many others, but yet people like social media just lets it happen.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Like, it's definitely weird. As far as like, human interactions go with him, I've never seen anybody on that level of crazy in my entire life.
Yeah, that's very fair. That's fair. That's the truth. I definitely, yeah.
And I can honestly say this, as somebody who has been victimized by him, and as somebody that, has been pushed to the edge, and is actually a survivor of suicide twice over because of, him and his little friends and what they did. I can honestly say this to anybody out there that is going through that. This isn't just coming from me. I'm sure you'd probably have the same advice too. Don't take your own life because of him. It's not fucking worth it. That dude is literally not worth taking your own life over. The best thing you can do for yourself is to put down whatever it is that you're wanting to end your life with and just walk away from it. Walk away from whatever you're wanting to do. Seek help. Do something to get away from whatever it is that you're going through. Definitely get away from him for sure. Like, contact the police. Do whatever you gotta do to stay away from this guy because he is seriously. He's not okay in the head. Like, he's seriously mentally disturbed on an astronomical level.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And you know what? But I would say like don't contact your local police because your local police didn't do shit. Like they didn't do shit for you. You know, they didn't do anything. And how many times have the cops been called to you on Marty? Like it's insane.
Right.
It's
Well, on the flip side of that, that's just my area. Some people might have better luck than I did. Who knows? You never know.
that's
Like, someone might have better luck than I did. You never know.
true,
Hell,
true.
hell, we all know Foodie Beauty had way more luck than I did. Shit, she got the whole ass fucking FBI on his ass.
That's very true. We did speak about this. So yeah, Marty, the day I left, I left at Chicago. I left with, I was leaving Chicago to Houston,
Mm.
and the FBI like rolled up on Marty, and they brought a full book out, the Terrorism Task Force on Mart Dog, and they brought out Foodie Beauty, and they said like stop talking to Foodie Beauty, and he did. But why didn't they do that for you, right?
Right,
That
that
was
was that was that was actually a very valid question that you had. Like, that definitely is something that even I wondered, like, why did they not dig into what he did and dig into his YouTube channel and look for other people, like myself and you and Saren and other people that have actually been victimized by this fucking weirdo.
so true. Like, like why? Like, so, well, I guess they had better things to do, because it's like the FBI and shit. I get that, but like you've had like how many calls? Like
Oh,
how many
last
times?
year alone would, well, let's see, just last year alone, from whenever my mom looked up the records, they had called welfare checks on my house at least 113 times last year alone. And
That's
and that's just in welfare checks. That's not counting, adult protective services. That's not counting, FBI. That's not counting, police rolling up fully armed to the teeth with fucking rifles ready to blow down my door. Like, that's
mm,
just off of welfare checks alone. It's like, what the hell?
yeah, that's crazy.
That's a bit excessive if you ask me.
It's insane. It's insane. But I guess that's what you get, with Marty. That's what comes with it, and that's what I found out.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But if you can give, like, if you had to, point out signs of what to watch out for people like him, what would be the signs for anybody that doesn't know? Like, what would
Mm.
be the signs that you would tell them to look out for?
Huh. I'd say don't look out. Well, don't give in to manipulative people, but that's hard to do, right? Um, you know, avoid people that bully people on the internet because it's never fun. It's fun in games at first. It's funny. Then it's not funny.
Right,
Um, avoid that. Yeah, avoid that shit. It's just it's not funny. At the end of the day, it's not. It's fucked.
right.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say this, like, as far as like my warning signs, to look out for, would definitely be pay attention to how the person that you're watching treats the people that they're on panel with. Definitely
Mm-hmm.
pay attention to how they treat the chat, because there are things that they will do that you can kind of tell that they're screwing with them about if they are doing that. Like, you can definitely tell if someone's being fucked with or screwed with, you know, like, and just be careful. Like, definitely pay attention to how, read the room is more or less what I'm getting at. Read the room. Like, pay attention to how they're treating their guests, the way they talk, the way they handle themselves, the way they carry themselves, how they talk to their chat. Just really keep an eye out for that stuff, because those are definitely very telltale signs that either you got a good dude on your hands and they're just out there doing genuinely good person shit, or they're like Marty and they're a genuine fucking piece of trash.
Mm-hmm. That's facts. That's facts.
Like, I know that when, I got pulled in the same way you did, but I got pulled in a different manner. And once I got yanked in, like I said, it took me like 7 years, just to get out of it. And I can honestly say, like, now that I'm out of it, I'm back to myself again. I'm doing what I love. For all y'all that don't know, that are wondering about, is there going to be any more gameplay footage? Yes, there is. I am working on that. There is going to be gameplay footage for sure. But, like, being able to be back away from all the bullshit and actually being able to say, hey, I made it out. Unfortunately, like, for me, yeah, that's a good thing. But sadly, there's not a lot of people that make it out of that kind of stuff. And that's what's so sad, is there's so many people that lose their lives to people like Marty that, like, it's sad. It really is a sad thing to see so many people taking their own lives because of what people like Music Biz Marty and his friends William Glory Hole and N-Word Boy and all of them do. Like, it's honestly sad. It really is. And that's no way to live.
The sadder part is it's not really music with Marty doing the dirty work. It's William Glory, definitely William Glory Hole and Inward Boy. They're doing the dirty work for music biz Marty. That's
Right.
you
And
know
that's what's so sad, is that, like, that's what makes him even more pathetic, is that he has to have, people do the work for him. It's like, dude, like, you're supposedly this tough guy, but yeah, you have two henchmen doing your dirty work for you. What the fuck? Are you just, are you
it's,
stupid, or are you just that fucking lazy?
yeah, it's like a legion. These they follow him like a cult, and it's very sad. And
You're not wrong. It definitely, from the way I've seen it and just from the stuff that I've studied, it definitely is, a cult like, you know, situation.
it's it's awful. It's disgusting.
Like, there are so many people that get drawn into that kind of life. And, like, don't get me wrong, I understand when you're young, you're impressionable, and you're just coming up on YouTube as a new YouTuber and you don't know who to trust or who to believe. We've all been there. I know I was there at one point myself. I started YouTube back in 2009, and when I first started out, if you were to tell me what a troll was back then, I would have looked at you like I was batshit confused, because I was. I didn't know what a troll was. I didn't know what they were about. I had heard the term thrown around, but I never knew what it was. If that
Mhm.
makes any sense. Like, I had heard the term thrown around, but never put two and two together. When I heard the term troll, I thought automatically like, the little troll dolls that we always had as a kid, or like, the movie trolls, or like, trolls like you see in like, RPG video games and stuff like that. Like, that to me are trolls. Like, this whole thing of like, what these people do, that's not trolling. That's just pure fucking bullying. That is harassment. And ultimately, that's a form of terrorism when you really break it down. Because you're instilling fear into people.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying with the whole like troll doll thing. Like, I had those troll dolls. Like, I get it, but
Who
like,
didn't?
yeah, who didn't? We all, yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I might still have one or two left from when I was a kid. I don't know. I haven't gone through my shit in years.
How many you got?
I have
Do
no
you have
idea.
Beanie Babies?
Oh
That's
my
a throwback.
god. Oh my god, that's a classic for you. Shit. Now we're getting on to some old school shit. My god. Shit, we made sure to do a podcast on fucking old school shit that we grew up on as kids. My god.
That's what's up. I'll do that.
Fuck yeah. Shit. We'll be here for hours at that rate. My god.
Hell yeah. Let's talk about them Beanie Babies.
Right? Those fucking TY beanie babies you get from McDonald's all the time or buy at the fucking local grocery store, man. Shit.
I don't know about all that, but I'm willing to find out.
Right? But yeah,
That,
like I said though, like I can genuinely say as somebody that has been victimized by him,
right?
and by his friends, I can honestly say, that it's definitely good to see that you made it out for sure.
Thank you. I'm glad I made it out too. Fuck.
Like
It was.
I know that getting away, I know that had to be hard.
It was. It was hard as fuck. I really. It definitely was. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Like, it was. Like, Marty is. He definitely has some kind of psychological disorder. Um, it was very difficult, but I'm free now. I'm alive. I'm not a slave. I'm good.
Yeah. And to anybody else out there wondering right now, like for those wondering, what you're up to since getting away from all that, like what are you doing nowadays? Like what are you doing now that you're away from all that?
Well, I'm like not living with Marty. I'm living my life. I own a business and I'm good.
Oh, really?
I'm
What
working.
you
I'm
really?
working out. I'm like Chicago deep dish pizza. That's
But you said that you run your own business. What kind of business do you run?
it's a matchmaking business.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Are you single?
Eh.
Okay. So you are. All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
for anybody else out there, though, for anybody out there that is, hey, there you go. But, like I said, though, the fact that, you're actually away from him, though, like, that's huge.
Yeah. That's
Like,
huge.
like, I know that, like I said, as somebody that's gone through that, it
Mhm.
definitely was, even for me, it was hard to get away from. Like I said, it took me 7 fucking years to get away from it. And I only got away from it just a mere couple months ago. And, like I said, I've been, just like you, I've been on, my road to recovery. I've been doing really well. I've been avoiding every single thing possible to not, do shit to go back down that road, to say the least. And has it been difficult? Absolutely. Like, it has been hard. It's not been easy. But I can honestly say that, it's definitely worth it because now I'm more focused. I'm more motivated. I'm back to doing content that I used to make. I'm not really actually, if at all, giving a shit about, what, the haters say or anything like that. I'm just out here doing my thing, making content and doing my job. Like, what more do you want?
Yeah, exactly. Like that. That this. He's like a. I maybe have told him this before, but I think he's like a. He drains my energy. He's like a energy vampire.
Oh,
He just.
absolutely. Absolutely. And that literally is the best way to describe it. Like, you literally just described it perfectly.
It's hard. He's very hard to deal with. Like once you actually deal with him, it's like it drains your soul. Like it's so dark and deep. It hurts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, I can't even count how many times I've lied awake at night just drained of energy and just laying there just wondering, like, and I'm sure you've had some of these things, some of these very same thoughts. It's like, when you're laying there, you're just like, how am I in this?
Hmm.
Like, how am I in this and how the hell do I get out of it?
Yep. Yep. Definitely.
Like, it's definitely not easy, but like me and you both said, once you do take those initial steps and you're actually out of it, like you can then begin the process of doing what you feel you need to do to be on the road to recovery, whatever you got to do, whether that's seeking counseling, whether that's talking to friends, family, doing whatever you got to do to make sure that you don't go down, that dark path again. It's definitely, having good friends and family, that definitely is a huge help. Like me, I got lucky. I had friends and family that, had my back through the entire thing. And I can honestly say I cannot thank those people enough. Like, if it wasn't for them, in all honesty, I probably wouldn't even be sitting here talking to you right now if it wasn't for them. Like, the road that I got stuck down was so dark and just so bad that it was just like, I need to get out of this shit. And it wasn't until my friends actually sat me down, and actually, two of my friends that sat me down were actually two of my childhood best friends that are more like family to me than they are friends because I grew up with them since we were all in third grade. So to me, they're basically extended family. But, it wasn't until they sat me down and my family sat me down and basically was like, look, like, these are the people that you need to cut off because if you don't, it's not, the cycle is just going to continue. And, you need to get out of that cycle. And once they said that, it really made me think. Like, I sat there for like at least an hour just thinking about everything after we hung up, and I was just like, it was in that moment of realizing that they were right that I was like, I need to get away from this because if I don't, I'm never gonna be able to get better.
That's kind of why they sat you down, right? Like an intervention happens when you need it, and unfortunately, it happens when you need it.
Yeah,
Um, I'm glad that happened and that you could take all that info and resonated, and you know.
right. And I can honestly say, for those of you guys out there that have good friends and family to turn to, like, definitely count your blessings. Definitely, check on your friends more, check on your family more. I know ever since I got away from everything, I've started checking in with people more. I've started checking in on my friends and family a lot more. You know, like, I'm constantly talking to them every day, hanging out with them, having fun, doing my thing like I used to. But for those of you that, might not have that in your life, reach out to somebody, reach out to, whether it's a family member or a friend or, anyone, like, even a stranger, could be a lot of help at times. Because that's one thing that I have noticed that with some people, even just having a stranger that doesn't even know your situation, just being there to listen to you vent can do a lot more help than what people realize.
That's solid advice. Actually, that's great advice. I think that's good.
Like,
Thanks.
and, for anybody else out there that, has gone through what I've gone through and has gone through what, Jamie here has gone through, or anybody out there that is going through that currently, or anything that's, putting you in a bad mindset, and you feel like and you feel like taking your own life, take it from somebody that's a survivor of suicide twice over. Don't do it. It's not fucking worth it. The only thing you're gonna end up doing is hurting yourself, and more importantly, hurting those around you who actually, care. I know that things might feel like, they're hard, and you might not think that, you have people that care, but believe it or not, y'all do have people that do care. Whether it's, myself, whether it's Jamie, whether it's, anybody in my chat, whether it's, it doesn't even have to be me. Like, it can be your favorite streamer, it can be your favorite, YouTuber, it could be, anybody that, you see as somebody that you can turn to that person, talk to them. You know, like I know that recently Papa Roach just released a song called "Leave the Light On," which actually is about being there for those that you know that have been in that dark place, that are currently in that dark place. Like I was, and I'm sure there's been times where you felt that same thing.
Hmm. That's true. It's true. Very true.
And, for anybody out there that is listening, that is in that, dark place right now, I just want y'all to know, man, you guys are not alone. Like, there are people out there that do care. There are people that do give a shit, believe it or not. There are people that do care. There are people that have got your back. All you gotta do is reach out. That's all you gotta do is just, whether it's a text, a phone call, whether it's sitting down with them, talking to them. It can be a teacher, a friend. It can be, even though a lot of people hate police, it can be a police officer. It can be anybody. Just reach out. Don't stay silent because when you stay silent, that darkness that you're stuck in stays dormant and builds and builds. And then by the time you realize what's going on, it's too late. Don't let that shit sink in. Talk to somebody.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, everything he's saying is fucking the truth. So just reach out, even if it's to a friend, a family member. Um, do something. Like, don't be so depressed that you sink into your own self, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we had spoke about this, briefly earlier. But
Mm-hmm.
one of the people that, actually inspired me to actually get into doing music, unfortunately took, his own life back in 2017, which was the late and great Chester Bennington. He actually ended up taking his own life because he dealt with a lot of the same things that we all deal with. He dealt with depression, substance abuse, early childhood abuse. Like, he dealt with so much stuff, and unfortunately, that dark place got the better of him, and unfortunately, look what happened.
Mm.
And that's the sad reality of it is that depression goes hand in hand with suicide, and it claims a lot more lives than people realize.
Mm. I mean, it does. I mean, that's for sure.
And one of and I can honestly say this, that one of the leading causes for that is the type of stuff that myself and you had
Mm.
gone through, which is the feeling trapped, the being bullied, the not being able to see a way out. Like, when you're in that place and you don't feel like there's a way out, you're gonna start turning to stuff, whether it's, substances, whether it's substance abuse, whether it's, you know, whatever abuse, whatever kind of stuff you're,
um, there's a lot of shit you can do, right?
yeah,
But
there definitely is so much that, you could, that people unfortunately turn to. And, for those out there that feel like they're lost, that feel like, they don't have anything, just know that, you got, amongst all the crazy weirdos in my chat that I'm sure y'all will see, amongst all the negative comments, man, if you just look, there are people within my chat that do give a shit. There are people, like myself, that are out here that, despite what people say, I'm actually a very approachable person. I'm not too, ego filled to, feel like I'm better than anyone, because I don't see myself as better than anyone. Never have,
that's,
never will. Like,
that's very. You're actually very approachable and very nice, and I had a great conversation with you. So yeah,
oh,
yep.
absolutely. Like, I'm that kind of person that, like, the person that you're talking to now, and the person that you see, in the newer videos on my channel, the same dude that you see in those videos is literally the same motherfucker that you'll see at freaking Walmart's at 3 in the afternoon buying a pair of jeans and a freaking t-shirt.
Let's not do that. Let's not bite.
Despite the fact of people, thinking that I have all this money and I'm shopping at all these fancy stores, nah, motherfucker. Walmart's, Target,
Hell no.
and a little bit of Hot Topic here and there. Not gonna lie, I like my band tees.
I'm sure.
Can't lie. But
No,
like, I'm
not
not. I don't. I don't do the fancy shit. I don't do the
shopping.
Gucci or the Prada. I don't do that shit.
That's okay, but let's also like not shop at Walmart
Why is that?
because it's Walmart. The,
Hey, I grew up on Walmart, so what can I say?
ugh, fuck a Walmart. Fuck a Walmart greeter. I'm kidding.
Dude,
Anyway,
so some of my friends have been Walmart's creators, and thankfully they're not doing that job anymore, and they're just like, bruh, fuck this. So, like, as soon as they figured out how bad it was, they were like, fuck this, I'm finding a different job. It's like, good, because me walking to Walmart, seeing your ass every day, being like, you're here again, motherfucker, like, really? Kind of gets boring after a while.
it's funny.
Just standing there at the door. Can you imagine just standing there at the door all day, not being able to hardly move? Just like, hi, 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 all freaking day? Nah, fuck that.
It's funny. It's funny.
But hey, it was good having you on here. Like, I
Hey,
definitely enjoyed the conversation, and, I'm glad that you were able to speak your piece. You were able to speak out on what's going on. Like, it's definitely, I can definitely say it definitely takes a lot of courage to, to do what you're doing.
well, I mean, it's not about courage. It's just about the truth.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I had to say it. So I'm glad. I'm glad I spoke to you earlier. Actually, we had a great conversation. It was nice,
Yeah,
and
and honestly, I'm glad that you reached out and, was like, hey, like, this is what I dealt with. And I was like, oh shit.
mm,
Like, it was funny. I didn't realize who you were at first. And then, like, I recognized the name from Marty's chat, and I was like, oh shit.
yeah, yeah. It's me. It's me. I'm here. But I can talk to you later. It was great talking to you, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely had a blast, and for those of you that, did enjoy this, hit that like button, that subscribe button, notification bell, and yeah, there will be more of this kind of stuff. Not just with, me and Jamie here, but with me and other people, other friends. And, I'll be talking about a lot of different shit,
Appreciate it.
whether it's, her situation, my situation, you know, we'll see where it goes. Like, this is just episode 1 of this, so you never know where it's gonna go. Anything's bound to happen. But love you guys. As always, stay humble, stay positive, keep being yourself. Fucking love you guys. And Jamie, you got anybody that you want to give a shout out to, or anything that you want to say before we pop off?
I would like to not give a shout out to Music with Marty. Fuck him. You're cool. Bye bye.
Yeah, appreciate it. And with that being said, y'all, we're out of here, y'all. Peace.